I'm ready. Go ahead.
So what swung the game there to start the second half?
Well, I thought just more than anything, I'm just being able to see the ball go in. You know, I thought we made some good decisions in the first half, and you know, we just messed up some things around the rim. Like we had some careless turnovers, we missed some shots. But I thought we did some good things. We just, you know, had only 22 points to show for it. Mm-hmm. Defensively, I didn't think it was that bad in the first half, you know, holding someone to 30 points on their home court. But we just, you know, we needed to be able to get some stops. And like I said, just see the ball go in. I thought we made good decisions. I thought we, you know, we did the same thing. We went right at, you know, we went right to Trey. Mm-hmm. At the end of the first half, we got a basket. We went, you know, to the beginning of the second half. And we just tried to play off of that and, you know, play off of Braden. And, you know, but we had to get stops. You know, we got stops, and I thought our hands were really active. You know, we got a lot of steals.
This is the third road game in a row where things in the second half were much different than the first half in terms of the scoring margin and things like that. Is there a trend there?
Yeah, there's a trend. We're not scoring in the first half, and we're scoring in the second half. But the why of it, from a coaching standpoint, like having 7 turnovers at half is what you got to look at. Because going 0 for 6 from 3, I didn't think we took bad threes. We just didn't make any. And then that kind of messes with your confidence a little bit when some shots don't go down. Then you have some turnovers. You split your free throws or miss your free throws. So, you know, going in there to half is really just trying to be better at what we do, you know, and just trying to get them to understand that they did some good things there, just they don't have a lot to show from it. But cut down on your turnovers, you know, clean up a few things defensively. And then, you know, they got 15 points from threes from a guy that normally doesn't shoot threes or make threes. And we still were in a good position.
Caleb, I think they credited him with 4 steals tonight. He was a part of that. Whenever they were trying to throw over the defense, he was there to help disrupt that. Just, I guess, not just tonight, but in other ways he's even kind of contributing.
Yeah, no, Caleb was great. You know, I thought he was very active there. You know, we knew what we were getting into when they were trying to roll into the post or had some ISOs over there on the wing. And, you know, just having active hands. He really helps us because he can switch ball screens for us, but he also can guard people of size. And, you know, that luxury right there really helps us. But, you know, I thought he did some great things. He made his free throws there at the end. Was around the ball more than anything, offensively and defensively.
You talk about Braden being just a high-volume part of this offense, but tonight the volume was really through the front court with Caleb. And it kind of asks him now to be part of that efficiency underneath the way that you've asked Trey to be there.
Yeah, they were way more aggressive in the first half of the ball screens. You can benefit from dragging them out because now you have a lot of space, but then you got to get the ball out of your hands. When you get the ball out of your hands, you got to be able to make a play at that point and get the ball to the other side. And we just didn't do a good enough job of getting it back. We had a couple turnovers that way, but we had about 3 or 4 other possessions where it just didn't help us. They weren't as aggressive in the second half. We were prepared for it. We're going to do a couple things a little bit differently or just do things better. And, you know, now the 5s and the 4s are going to see the basketball in that spot. And they push us out like that, we're going to get the ball at the nail there, and they got to make good decisions. I thought they made good decisions, but also Trey made a couple of those shots. And then Caleb was able to finish around the rim a couple of times. It really helped us.
The way you guys have really fed Trey to start games and start second halves, and just in general, you play through him so much. How much can he be a decoy? It seems like there were a lot of plays, a lot of actions run tonight where the ball went into him specifically to get it back out to Fletcher or whoever.
Right. Yeah. We sometimes it happens organically, and sometimes we're trying to do it. And so I think it's just important for us to take what they give us. So if we're one-on-one in there, and he's got his guy, and he can get to the middle of the floor. He does a good job of spinning, even though he didn't. I think he did once tonight of spinning back when they take the middle of the floor away. And but yeah. Just, you know, if they're going to come in there or they're going to collapse on him, you know, being able to get those kick-out, step-in threes, those are the ones you want. Those are the easiest to hit.
You guys started making free throws during that stretch of the game during the second half. I don't know what the difference is between causation and correlation there, but again, with Trey and Caleb, have to start hitting those, I think, in more regularity, right? Just because of the volume that they're going to be getting it there.
Yeah, you know, you want to be aggressive. And anytime you're down or anytime you're on the road and you have a combination of both, you know, you want to get the ball to the rim. When you're driving it, or you're posting it, or you're getting in transition, or you're getting on the glass. You know, I think that's really, really important, you know, that we live in the paint. And on the defensive side of things, you know, we want to keep them in the paint. yeah, when they have the basketball there, like, you got to get it, man. You got to get 2 or 3 points. We're just making a good decision, and if they're going to foul you, then you got to make them pay.
Just that stretch of the second half there where Braden and Fleshers found ways to get to the foul line. That's kind of their experience and just their kind of know-how showing up.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. Fletch, obviously, we sub him right in, and he makes that play off the out-of-bounds play. Then he makes a 3. Then he makes another one a couple minutes later. Braden had a couple of those turnovers late. If he just would have been on 2 feet, he'd have made those plays. But I think all those, going down the stretch like that, they've been in those moments before, like making shots, making plays, making the right reads. It's you feel confident having the ball in their hands.
This hasn't been the highest pressure defense you've run here the past couple of years, but why are you forcing so many turnovers? Is it just the connectedness they're playing with?
Yeah.
The constant help hovering
around.
The
activity, our hands, just being active, understanding what we're doing, what we're trying to do. Whether that's ball screens or whether that's post-ups or drives, just trying to keep the ball, out of the middle as much as we can. It's not 100%. It's not foolproof. It's not the magic. I always say the magic's in the players and their activity. And so that's who deserves the credit, is our guys' attention to detail and just kind of recognizing when guys are up against it and they're making tough passes. And, anytime you can get those deflections, you get those steals, now you want to get those run-outs.
They seem to be doing a much better job communicating, being connected, and all the stuff you talked about early in the season not being where you wanted it to be.
Yeah, we're better. We still had 2 or 3 plays in the last 4 or 5 minutes. If we just would have communicated, on drives and different things and switched up and been ready, we've been better. So you got to do your work early. You got to use your voice as much as you can to be able to paint that picture for that guy who's on the ball.
What do you know about Oregon here in the 15 minutes you've started thinking about them?
Yeah, there you go. I haven't watched him, to be frank with you. I've seen him in highlights, and I've seen him a couple times with some common opponents, but we haven't had a lot of common opponents with them. I've watched him maybe one time on film, and then I've watched a lot of highlights. But if you just look at their schedule and their record and all the people they've played and beat, it speaks for itself. They're going to be, if the tournament was right now, they'd be a 2 or a 3 seed. He's a fabulous coach. Very familiar with him being from Creighton 20 years ago when I was in Southern Illinois. Just a really, really good coach. They have good players. Great team. We're going to have to be better than we were tonight. Thanks, guys.